How does that make you feel?
Welcome back to Freudian Glitch. I'm one of your hosts, Kira.
And I'm Charlie.
He's the other host.
I am. Mostly.
And you have joined us on a wonderful day. We are going to be playing the Untitled Goose Game from 2019. It is an excellent game, and we highly recommend it.
Those goose physics, just on point.
Their goose physics is just chef's kiss perfect.
Oh, you have no idea.
As a previous goose owner, I can tell you that this is very goose accurate.
It is. This is true to form for geese everywhere.
There he is. Oh, look at him.
Well,
Look at that exemplar of goose.
just flop out here and run. Go look at these bells.
To be super honest with you, we tried this as a 2-player, and we had so much fun playing it that we stopped commenting, which is not helpful for you at all.
Yeah, it didn't work. So now I'm playing, and we're going to talk about...
Yeah, there is a method to the madness, there is an order to the universe, and this is it, where I talk and he plays.
Eventually, we'll get into some games where you play and I talk.
Yeah,
But,
I don't want people to think that I'm incapable of playing.
I don't want people to think that I'm incapable of talking.
Well, then we are even.
What?
So yeah, both of us are capable of doing the opposite thing, but this is just how it's been working so far, and we'll experiment with other things in the future. But what we came up with the 2-player situation would not have been edutational at all. It was just us giggling about the geese situation.
Yeah.
And
It
not
might
talking.
be fun, but it's not really the purpose of this channel.
So we will probably do some things that are fun for the sake of fun. Maybe with an eye towards self-care. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe we'll
no, that
twist
could
it
be
that
good.
way. Yeah.
I also want to try studying for comps while doing some other simple menial task like playing a game that I'm very used to. So
Yeah, no, I think that would be a lot of fun and potentially helpful for other people who are studying for comps.
right,
See how quickly they can answer questions while you're playing video games.
all 12 other people that are studying for comps in my niche field.
Hey, we understand that this may not cater to everyone's needs, but we're gonna hit all the high points, so your needs will come up eventually. So keep watching, like, subscribe, comment, let us know all about what you want to hear about. If you have comps coming up and you want us to ask questions, we'll see if we can hook that up. I don't know.
Yeah, who
Sky's the
knows?
limit at this point. We have no obligation. So, all right. So, in this game, which is a wonderful game about this very mischievous goose who goes on a little bit of a rampage around this very peaceful countryside.
Very British.
It's a very... Yes. It actually did win a BAFTA for the best family and social game. So it is a British game with a British award.
Oh, wonderful.
It is a lovely game, and I highly recommend it because it is just as delightful as it looks. So today, we are going to be talking about the concept of Schadenfreude.
Oh, the best.
One of the most amazing German conceptualizations of an emotional state that one could even ask for.
That's how you know is when you have to create your own word for it. That's probably good.
That's when it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Germans have given us the word Schadenfreude, which actually translates to harm joy. So that is the emotional experience of getting pleasure or driving pleasure or humor out from the misfortune of others. So, for example, what you're viewing right now could be, if you're laughing, considered Schadenfreude. You are experiencing joy based on this poor gardener having his hat stolen by a goose who looks very pleased with himself. Quite
He
smug.
is very pleased with himself. Look at that.
Yeah. And you've completed a task, so it should be doubly satisfying for you, the viewer.
So satisfying. As I speed run Goose Game.
It is... We're pretty practiced at this by now, because it is very soothing to play.
It is. What a joy.
Yeah. There are no stakes. You're just a goose. Be doing goose stuff. Geese are incredible. I have owned geese in the past.
Yep.
And they are just the most chaotic evil of animals that you can find. I mean, they are ridiculous creatures, and Well, I don't believe I will be owning geese in the future, per se, like on purpose.
No one owns geese on purpose.
I didn't the last time I owned geese, but here we are.
I would even say, like, going to a Tractor Supply or an Orscheln's and, like, they just have the chicks on display. That's not purposeful goose ownership.
No.
That is like, look at this adorable creature that will soon turn into a little demon spawn.
It is emotional blackmail on the part of those businesses.
Right?
So yeah, no, that is definitely a blackmail situation to get me to buy adorable chicks and then raise them to like cranky adulthood where suddenly they're attacking children and whatnot. It's whatever.
They always go for the children first.
They do. You have to look them in the eye. They are very close to velociraptors. Like I think they're as close as you can get.
That is the one inaccuracy of this game, is that there is no hiss command.
Yeah, no, the hiss is pretty strong. Like that noise that just got made with the paper. It's similar.
It is.
It's
very
like
similar.
that. So anyway, what about Schadenfreude?
What about Schadenfreude?
Am I
Let's
right?
talk about it.
So, this is a topic that has been addressed with this game specifically by other people.
What are you doing?
He's looking for his hat. Doesn't love the sun hat. Oh, and now the keys. Even better. So yeah, this has been addressed using this game previously in an article called Addressing Schadenfreude in the Untitled Goose Game. So like it very on the head, like got a nail on the head kind of situation. On
we
point.
are right there.
Yeah. And that article was in Love Thy Nerd, and it was by Joey Thurmond in 2019. So thanks for some of the information that led to an even more like deep dive research project for me to avoid doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing for school. So thank you, Joey, for getting me out of, at least temporarily, doing some of the things that I needed to get done. So the reason that this game kind of brings up some stuff is like Schadenfreude gets kind of mixed reviews. So there are some pros and cons. So while this is delightful and ultimately really isn't harming anyone per se, Schadenfreude, the emotion, gets some kind of mixed reviews. So on one hand, like what's a pro you can think of for watching someone else experience some kind of misfortune and then feeling good about it?
It allows for a little bit of perspective taking, I think, where like you can say like, oh, look at this person. My life's not so bad.
Yeah. So you can do like affirming perspective taking about your own life, so that like you're not fishing for your hat in a lake. You know.
Yeah.
There have been.
I'm not being mercilessly attacked by a goose.
right now.
Chance may be low, but it's never zero.
It is a non-zero chance of being attacked by a goose. Especially previously. So yeah. So there have been entire like genres that have been developed around this concept, like a lot of sitcoms or slapstick comedy. Like America's Funniest Home Videos is almost entirely comprised of Schadenfreude.
Yeah, no, it is literally just Schadenfreude, the show.
The show, yeah, and it's gone on for like decades.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how long. That must be the longest running show.
I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
I think they finally ended it, but I can't confirm that without Googling it, and I don't want to right now.
No, it's not going to happen right now. But if you'd like to, as the viewer, please...
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. Educate yourself and us on the running length of AFV.
As those in the know call it.
I can remember when they used to advertise it as AFV, when we still had TV channels instead of streaming services.
Right.
So, but that's a story for another day. So other pros of this genre can be, things like laughter. Laughter is great for you.
Yeah, no, it's super good when you laugh.
Yeah, it releases all sorts of feel-good chemicals, bonding. So that's another part of this. You can bond with people by watching the same event, like this one.
Yep. Makes it good for all of your in-group needs.
Yes. So you can... wow. That escalated quickly.
We killed him. He's dead now.
I think he's dead. But yeah, you can actually bond with other people by watching the same misfortune befall someone else and laughing about it together. So, for example, watching somebody like wipe out on ice is sometimes hilarious. I think there's a threshold though, right? So like what is the threshold that you would say like where it's funny versus when it's not funny?
I think that when like actual lasting physical harm comes to somebody, or if they are innocent in the situation.
Yeah.
So.
But you mean like babies or like kittens or like what do you?
No, I mean, yeah, like kittens probably.
Okay, so more so kittens.
More so kittens.
We have more empathy for kittens.
Sometimes children just have very punchable faces, like this one.
This guy. Oh, he does not care for that.
Yes, good.
Got your glasses, kid. What now? Oh, apparently that. So yeah, so there are a lot of like benefits. I agree with you that if something is funny, as long as nobody actually was seriously harmed or killed or whatever. And I feel like a lot of those like funniest home videos like really walk that line between
they do
what's funny and what is just like watching an accident, like,
yeah.
is more voyeuristic maybe than
yeah. Are you watching a car crash or are you enjoying somebody having like a mildly bad day?
Well, and I think then there are those other like staged events, much like things that get created into videos online about people doing pranks or trying things that are obviously not a good idea. None of which obviously we condone for our purposes, but all of that stuff can really walk that line. Oh, are you gonna get on TV? Are you gonna be a goose on TV? Goose on TV. Your big moment.
Come back here and
moment to shine. Take in the whole goose.
It'd be remiss not to take him in.
Not drink that goose in. He's on TV. So yeah, this really is like a neat concept because it pairs so many different like experiences and things that could happen. But yeah, there are some cons. There are some definite things that come as a result of this that may or may not be good, and that's kind of what we're gonna discuss a little bit. Because on the one hand, Schadenfreude does not necessarily demonstrate empathy. If you're laughing at someone else's misfortune, that is not the same as showing empathy towards somebody, right?
Yeah.
And it can be kind of mean. It's not like pro-social from the perspective of the person being harmed. That person may not appreciate you laughing at their problems, right?
Most people don't.
Most people don't care for that. Yeah. So it has actually been compared as the opposite of empathy. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that Schadenfreude is the opposite of empathy, or do you think it's somehow different?
I feel like it is different enough to be classified as not the opposite of empathy. Because I don't know. I feel like the opposite of empathy is really what, apathy?
Yeah, like from a clinical perspective, because this is something that we measured for certain disorders, right? Or certain psychological conditions or states. Not having empathy is kind of like disinterest or apathy or just not caring or understanding. Like it's not wanting to understand. Where empathy is understanding to the extent that you can put yourself in the perspective of the other person. So I think that like some events like that you might watch, like people slipping on ice or some of those things, they're kind of funny sometimes because maybe you've had that experience, so you do have empathy in those situations.
Yeah, and you're like, oh no, it's happened to somebody else. I can't believe it.
Yeah, or like leaving coffee on top of the car. I have done that several times. Fortunately, never with anything important, but
I would say anybody with taste buds refined enough for coffee who can also drive, they've probably left their coffee on top of the car at one point or another.
But and it's not funny when I do it, but it is definitely funny when I see other people.
And how dare you laugh?
So yeah, so I don't think that they're opposites. I agree with you that that maybe that's not accurate. However, in the research, and there are like specific studies about Schadenfreude, a lot of the time those are the two concepts that are compared. So there is a 2010 study by Grietmeyer et al. Specifically called "Playing Pro-Social Video Games Increases Empathy and Decreases Schadenfreude." So then it kind of begs the question, is that something that we're trying to decrease as a function of being the opposite of empathy, and is that the right way to conceptualize that? I know those are like super deep thoughts for the Goose Game.
Right?
Maybe this is too much. I don't know. But that's kind of the way that it's conceptualized. So I don't know. Do you think that that Schadenfreude like necessarily has a negative relationship with things like altruism, so helping people, that it would make you less sociable?
No, I would say honestly, in some cases, it may actually have the opposite effect and increase that sort of thing, because once you've had the laugh, then you can sort of say, okay, well, now I need to help you out or make sure that you're okay, or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. There is that moment of like having to decide whether it's going to be funny or whether it's going to be serious.
You always decide whether it's going to be funny or not, and then you're like, have you been harmed in any significant way?
Yeah. I would say the right thing to do right after that is to ask the person, like, if you're in this situation, are you okay? And is there any way I can help you, right? So maybe it generates some altruism, some helping behaviors from people. So I don't know. I don't know the research well enough on this to say definitively, but I think it's interesting that it's being conceptualized in that way.
Oh, yeah.
So can we have both? Can we have pro-social behavior and also enjoy grabbing an apple from a shopkeeper and running away with it as a goose?
I get you. See, those quick strikes like a snake.
She's obviously had to deal with geese before.
Clearly, she's not a fan of geese.
Clearly, she is an experienced. Like she's got a sign about it. So I feel like she has been here before, or this goose has been here before. They are jerks, though.
They super are.
Little dinosaurs. They're on like everything that children own, which I think is hilarious because they are not good with children.
They can sense fear and weakness.
Yeah, like mother goose. I don't even understand like a lot of the time why geese are used in children's imagery, because they are uncool to children.
They're fiercely protective of their own children.
Maybe. I don't know. We didn't have goose babies, just regular geese and eggs, so which is probably for the best. So what is, if you had to choose out of all of your experiences of Schadenfreude, what would you say your favorite moment of Schadenfreude would be?
Ooh.
Or video, or like type of Schadenfreude event?
Well, I think it's usually that like moment of hubris for me, where it's like, oh yeah, no, this person has either been bragging that they can do something amazing, or they've been generally sort of an ass for a while, and they just suddenly and beautifully get their comeuppance. And actually, there is a study out that it's a more of a meta-analysis that tries to conceptualize the conditions under which Schadenfreude might take place, and one of those is when we feel that the person experiencing the negative impact of whatever it is deserves it. So when they're a hypocrite, particularly.
Yeah, I can see that. So kind of in a retribution kind of way.
Yeah, and behold your hubris.
I think that's good. I think that kind of captures my my favorite of all of the moments. Well, I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I do like, just in casually thinking about it, there is a video of a pair of it's a smug goose.
Yeah,
it's a video of a pair of joggers that are out being interviewed by the news. It's an older video, right? And it's snowing, and it is just like blizzarding, and it's terrible weather, and it's very, very cold. And these people are jogging in place, and like I run. I love to run, and so like this is not it's not unusual that you see people out in bad weather, because there's kind of this idea in the running community that you just do the thing, right? But there's this couple, and they're just so smug in this horrible, like, inhumane weather about that they are going out to do their run, and that it's somehow so much better in this weather. And they're telling the reporter all about how this is the best weather because the snow is really like grippy and it's fun to run in and you don't get too hot, and like naming all of these pros to running outside in this weather while like jogging in place. And so they like peace out with the reporter and like start jogging away, and this woman just eats shit. Like just hits the ground hard. And it was so satisfying, because this was such a like, this is why people don't like part of the running community, right? Yeah. Like this is the reason.
There is that part of like every community.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the hardcore people who like are a little bit over the top and ridiculous, like getting that immediate like karmic experience of just wiping out and eating shit on that really snowy roadway. So that's my favorite moment for sure. So we have come to the end of this episode, and we've talked about Schadenfreude. This is a shout out to the person who requested that we talk about Schadenfreude. So thank you for the idea. We welcome comments, and we will do requests. So if you have a game, or if you have a psychological concept that you'd like us to discuss, we are happy to hear about that. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. So yeah, any last parting thoughts about Schadenfreude?
No, it can be quite fun.
Yeah.
But it can be quite damaging, so I think that's... But be responsible with your Schadenfreude, I guess.
But also, laugh. Like, life is short.
Life is short.
Live it up. Be your best goose.
Be your best goose. Drive someone to insanity. Steal their statue of you.
Steal their statue. Run away. Make big money. All right. Well, if you haven't tried out this game, it is an absolute gem, and I really enjoy playing it. We've had a lot of fun with this, and it is very lifelike. So if you enjoy geese, maybe this is also the game for you.
It might be, yeah.
So, all right. Well, we will catch you next time on Freudian Glitch. I'm Kira.
I'm Charlie.
And we will see you soon.
Bye.
So we have today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.